station WDWL TV, live from Studio A. It's the Grumpy Old Man Show, starring me, the Grumpy Old Man. And my studios are located on Grumpy Old Man Road, in case you want to visit. So far, no takers. And, as always, we are a division of Grumpy Vulture Productions. Take your bow. All right. Face the camera. There you go. When the stream's over, go up to that. Go get your $10,000 take a bow check from corporate. Friends, Grumpy just can't stay out of trouble. I'm in a new battle. And this battle has been going on now for 2 months. And today, it came to a head. I'm battling with a fucking bread delivery man. Oh, jeez. Yes, a bread delivery man. And, I think basically he has relatives with Square Trade. Oh, this guy. I only eat Schwabel's Jewish rye bread, okay? Schwabel's is a bakery here in Ohio and Pennsylvania. My local Mark store is part of this route. Well, 2 months ago, I went in 3 different days, and there was no Schwabel's Jewish rye bread. Now, I'm not going to drive up to the other Mark store to get a fucking loaf of bread. Now, I could get everything else, but this store is like 5 minutes away. I don't have to fight any fucking traffic. And I've been going to this store since it's fucking open. So, 3 days in a row, I go in. There's no Jewish rye bread. So I go up to the manager. I was like, hey, what's with the bread, man? All of a sudden, he's not leaving any Jewish rye bread. Well, he told me, he says, I'll talk to him when he comes in. So he has a little chat with him. And for the next week, he leaves 10 loaves of bread. If I don't get up to that store early in the morning, by the time I go, I like to go around 3 o'clock for 2 reasons. First of all, there's hardly any customers. And second of all, there's a cashier I like to kibitz with. So I go after 3 o'clock. Well, the major problem is 10 loaves of bread don't last. And I was lucky a couple of times there was 1 loaf left. So the manager wasn't there. I talked to the assistant manager. I says, hey, are you here when the Schwabel's bread man makes his deliveries? He said, oh, yes. I says, well, can you tell him to leave like maybe 15 loaves of bread? Because by the time I get here, there isn't any. No, he's leaving 10. 2 more times I go in, no Jewish rye. All right, I'm OCD about my fucking bread, all right? Cut me some slack. It reminds me of the bread we used to get, when I was a little kid with my grandpa at Westside Market. So, Grumpy, I called and I spoke to customer service and I said, hey, I buy 2 loaves of bread a week. So far, 2 weeks in a row, going in the store 3 different times, there ain't no Jewish rye bread. What's this guy's problem? The girl says, okay, let me check and see what the normal order is. So the normal order is 10 loaves of bread. She says, I'll up it to 15. So she ups it to 15. Well, evidently, there were people that once the bread, ran out, they were looking for it. But they don't make phone calls like Grumpy does. Well, 15 loaves weren't lasting either. And then there were days he didn't leave any. Because I have the assistant manager's personal cell phone number on my cell phone. And I called him and I said, hey, what's with the bread? He said, what do you mean, what's with the bread? I said, there's no bread. None? Oh, I'm kidding. No! I said, twice this week, he has not left any. So the assistant manager, I'll talk to him. So he talks to him. He ups it, get this, from 15 to 17. Oh boy. So I go in 2 different days, no bread. So, you know me, I called and I get his route supervisor, who I had spoken to before. And I said, who's your supervisor? He gives me a name and I said, can you transfer me? And he kind of hesitates and, okay. So now I'm speaking to his boss and I said, hey, I'm a loyal Jewish rye bread customer. I said, I don't know what your bread delivery man's fucking problem is, but we need him to leave more bread. I said, by the time I get in the store, 17 loaves of bread just ain't cutting it. So I will personally talk to him when he comes back from his route today. Well, evidently that conversation didn't go over very well. Because then, get this, the next time, and he delivers twice a week, he brings in 30 loaves of Jewish rye bread. Grumpy's happy. He goes in the store, to get his twice weekly loaves of bread, and there's bread. Well, then I noticed there were a couple of times where there was 1 loaf of bread left by the time I got there. Thank God. But it was stale. I could tell, Grumpy likes to manhandle his fucking bread. Okay, this is good. No, this is 2 days old. So I called the big boss again, and I said, hey, I don't know what his problem is, but he's shorting the delivery again. So then, for the last 2.5 weeks, he's been leaving 30 loaves of bread. Today I go in the store, not one fucking loaf. I was like, and he delivered today. So I says to the manager, bread. He goes, get this, are you ready? No one is buying the bread. He's returning too much. So he cut the order. I said to the manager, I said, well, yeah. He went from 17 to 30 loaves because I count them. And I talked to the assistant manager who's there in the morning. And even the assistant manager says, why are you leaving 30 loaves of bread? Crab-ass person complaining. Well, that's me. So now, since he has to take back all the leftover unsold loaves, he has taken upon himself not to leave any. He came in and did his delivery this morning. The manager went back and checked the bill and went, 0 loaves of Jewish rye. It's right here, 0. So, guess who Grumpy's gonna call in the morning? Yep. The district manager for Schwabel's bread. I'm not messing with the zone man anymore. I want the district manager. Because this shit's gotta stop. This guy's copping an attitude. Either he brings in 15 loaves, 17, then 30, knowing they're not going to sell. But see, this is how he makes his point when he gets back to the bakery. Look, I'm leaving bread now. Now nobody's fucking buying it. Look at all this day-old, 2-day-old bread that... And I'm sure that, his boss is going, oh, yeah, geez, all of a sudden nobody's buying that bread. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to talk to the regional manager. And I'm going to find out if a store orders a certain amount of bread, does he have the right to cut their order? Even if he's... Now, I could see if he didn't have the bread. Believe me, if he had the bread. Because, see, the bread order goes to the bakery. And it'll say, 20 loaves of this, 30 loaves of that, 15 loaves of this. And it's already packaged on carts. All he does is wheel the cart into his truck. And it's got the store number right on it. Okay, store 36, store 47. All pre-done. All he has to do is wheel the cart in and put the bread on the rack. That's it. But now he's playing smartass. But see, he don't know who he's playing smartass with. Because I'll tell you what, if he continues to play smartass, I'll ask the regional manager, hey, how about you meeting me at the store when he's delivering? and then the three of us will have a little chat. And you know, Grumpy, I'll do it. I like to chat that way. Like I chatted with Square Trade. And the stupid thing is, this asshole's on commission. You would think he would want to please as many customers as possible and sell as many loaves of bread as possible without being an asshole. Oh yeah, let's bring in 60 loaves a week, knowing they're not going to sell. Had he rounded it to 20, I could see maybe one day-old pickup. But 30 twice a week in a smaller store that doesn't have that kind of traffic that's going to sell 60 loaves in a week? I know, you people are out there going, oh, Grumpy, you're an asshole. Now you're fighting over fucking bread. Why should I inconvenience myself to have to go out of my way to the store that's the opposite distance from me, that I don't like going to, in order to get my goddamn bread? This store's a pain in the ass to get out of. Oh, pulling in is easy. There's two driveways. They're both a pain in the ass to get out of. When I go to my store, it's on a side street. I just pull out. I'm home in 4 or 5 minutes. The other store, I'm sitting waiting in the fucking driveway for 4 or 5 minutes trying to get out in the traffic. And then, you know, there's no courtesy like there used to be. People would rather T-bone you than let you pull out in the traffic. So Grumpy's got a new fight. We're fighting over fucking bread. Oh, Jesus. I don't know what this guy's problem is, but he definitely doesn't want to be face to face with me and the regional manager, because he's going to lose. Because I'm going to explain to the regional manager the shit that he's pulling. I guarantee he's only telling one side of the story. And I'll get the assistant store manager involved, because him and I talk on a regular basis, and he knows the shit this guy's pulling. So here we go. A new battle. The battle of the bread. Oops. And not just any bread. Jewish rye. I think I'll really toy with the guy. I've got a yarmulke. I'll arrange to meet with the regional manager, and I'll show up wearing a yarmulke. And I'll say, hey, I need my Jewish rye. See that? Shalom. I don't know a lot of Yiddish. The only thing I know is basically I'd say shalom and then I'd sing Hava Nagila. That's the only Yiddish I know. But I'll tell you what, I know both verses of Hava Nagila on top of it. Yeah, I used to work for a Jewish funeral home. I was the craziest Gentile they ever met. That's a story for another day. They were like, "Oh my God, you're frickin' fucking nuts, pal." I was like, "Yeah." And matter of fact, the one day, one of the funeral directors brought in some leftover gefilte fish, and I was always allowed to go downstairs and help myself. So I'm sitting there with a plate of gefilte fish. And he walked in and he goes, "Oh my God, how can you eat that shit?" I said, "What do you mean, how can I eat that shit?" "You brought it in." He goes, "Yeah, I brought it in because it was left over because I don't eat it." It was good to me. Gefilte fish and creamed herring. Oh, I was in heaven. Because the one funeral director's mother made the gefilte fish from scratch and the cream herring from scratch. And every now and then, some brisket. Oh, God, could that woman make brisket? Oh, my God. Yeah, they always said, "You're the first Jewish Gentile we ever met." That was me. I'd be there with the gefilte fish on the fork, l'chaim. Yeah. They taught me a few Yiddish words. They also taught me some Yiddish cuss words that I'm not allowed to say. But that was fun times. So I think I'll do that. That really. It's a good idea. I've got several yarmulkes. I don't know why I hung on to them, but I got them in a drawer. I'll wear one when I go in with the regional manager and the bread man. I'll say, "Hey, you got something against leaving me my Jewish rye bread?" Tapping on my yarmulke, and he'd be like, "Oh, I'm sorry." "You better be." I know, it's stupid. It's a stupid goddamn fight over bread. But I'm not going to go out of my way. Do your job. Leave enough bread. You know 30 is too goddamn many. Leave 20. It's obvious by you leaving 17. When I go in at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, it sells. But no, you got to be a smart ass and leave 30. So that basically you have returns. And the company don't like returns. Although they have a day-old bread store. I'm getting static. I don't know why I'm getting static. Always something. Jesus. Next thing I'll be writing my interface manufacturer going, "What the hell's the matter with you?" Everything's new here. New microphone, new cables. I told you the interface burned out. New interface. Even the mixer was new, beginning of this year. Everything. Now the static went away. I hope you weren't getting it. I hate when I'm listening to a YouTube channel and there's static. Yeah. Everything new. New mic. Even a new microphone spit screen. They call them windscreens. I like to call them spit screens. Brand new cable running from the microphone all the way to the mixer. Brand new cables from the mixer into the interface. Brand new cable from the interface going into the computer. And they're not cheap cables either. I get them from Gator Cable. What a name for a Florida cable company. Gator Cable. I wonder if my amplifier for my headphones is shorting out. That's the only thing I can figure. I'll have to check the tubes, because it has tubes. Not transistors, tubes. Old school. I told you I've got one with orange tubes, one with red tubes, and one with blue tubes. I wanted to get the one with the green tubes. But it's like 3 times the price for green tubes. So I foregoed that purchase for a while. Oh, jeez. I can never stay out of an argument. But you know, this guy today pushed my last button. Not one loaf of Jewish rye bread. Matter of fact, he didn't even leave any rye. None. They have 2 different kinds. They got the Jewish rye and then what they call a deli rye, which sucks. He didn't leave either. I guess he's got something against rye bread eaters. Well, he's met his match with this rye bread eater. I've been eating it since as far back as I can remember. When Grandpa'd take me to the market, we'd go back to the bread stand. I'll get that big, he got the biggest round loaf he could get his hands on. I used to call it mileage bread. Because, boy, you got when you got the center slice out of that rye, it was about that big. I was like, boy, you get a lot of mileage out of this. Look at this. Cut it in half. You can make a sandwich with 1 slice of bread. And a full-size sandwich. A full-size Limburger and onion sandwich. Maybe that's what I should do. The day I meet with the regional manager and the bread delivery guy, eat a big Limburger and onion sandwich, and then breathe on it. All right. I'll put your name on a loaf of bread. You come in twice a week? All right. There'll be two loaves. When I deliver on Tuesday and Friday, your name will be on a loaf. Do not touch grumpy old man's personal loaf. How's that? Works for me. I might suggest that. Put my name on a loaf of bread and put it aside. I'll be here for it. I might even ask him to imprint it at the bakery. Grumpy old man stamp. Across the top of the loaf of bread it says grumpy old man. That'd be cool. Yeah, a new fight. Not one I wanted to get into, because it's kind of stupid fighting over loaves of bread. But when you decide not to leave any, because of your stupid ass move of leaving 30 twice a week, knowing that you're going to be taking, at least 10 back. And then you pull into the plant and go, oh, look, they're not buying the bread now. Look at all the waste. Day old. Well, they have a day old store. And on Wednesday, seniors get an additional 10% off. But I'm not going to drive all the way out to fucking Strongsville, 30 miles away, to get 10% off on a day-old loaf of bread. Nobody's paying my gas money out there. So, tomorrow, the phone call goes into the regional manager of Schwabel's Bakery. And him and I are going to have a chat. And then I'm going to suggest him and I and the bread delivery guy have a chat. And he isn't going to like to chat with Grumpy. That's why Square Trade gave in. They didn't like chatting with me either. Although that fast one they pulled, oh, jeez. You get everything you want, Mr. Grumpy. We're going to give you back the manufacturer's 1-year warranty. And then we're going to give you that 2.5 years of unused extended warranty. Not knowing I'm selling the fucking TV set. Didn't do me no favor. There was something I was going to... no big deal. I was going to bring that Dipsy Doodle remote for the soundbar. But speaking of soundbar, I figured something out today. Yes. I can control the soundbar totally with my TV remote. I found out by accident what I have to do at night when I shut the TV off. Shut everything off with the TV remote. Don't shut the soundbar off with the soundbar remote. And then, when I turn the TV on with the TV remote, voila! The soundbar comes on with the TV. It probably paired over anyway, I just didn't know it. But now I could throw that dipsy doodle remote away. I better keep it. Be my luck. It'll quit working again. So, tomorrow, we start a new chapter in Grumpy's battles with manufacturers. We start the official saga battle of the bread. Oh, jeez. It sounds stupid. I don't know what this guy's problem is, but we're going to find out starting tomorrow. Me and Schwabels on the battlefield of bread dough. Dum, da, da, dum. Maybe I could get it to work out where when the bread man leaves that store to go deliver to the other store, he could just swing by the house and drop me a loaf. Here you go. Your personalized loaf of bread, hand delivered to the house. Oh, thank you. That'd be what I would want. Tell the guy in front of the regional manager, you want to be an asshole? Well, now we're going to really make you into a real asshole, because now you're going to personally deliver a loaf of bread to me twice a week, like we used to have. We used to have milkmen, and we had bread men. And they would deliver to the house. The milkman would bring, butter, cottage cheese, milk. And then we had a bread man. Delivered right to your house. Because houses used to have what they call milk chutes. It's a little box built into the house. Has a door on the outside and a door on the inside. The milkman would leave the milk, and then you open the door and you go, oh, hey, there we go. Yeah, it was cool. We had milkmen and bread men. And every now and then we'd have an egg person. I just remembered that. Once a month, we'd have an egg person. She'd come by and deliver eggs to your house. And it was strange because she would always tell you, don't put them in the refrigerator. I don't know why we refrigerate eggs. They don't refrigerate eggs in Europe. My buddy's cousin lives in London. The eggs are on the counter. She come here and went, boy, you Americans are screwy. You put your eggs in the cooler? Our eggs sit right on the counter. You bring them home, put them on the counter. They don't refrigerate eggs. I don't know why we do. And the egg lady used to do the same thing. Just keep them in a cool spot, not in the refrigerator. I remember she would tell when she delivered a dozen eggs, don't put them in the fridge. Nope, we stick them in the fridge. But yeah, back in the day, milkman, bread man, egg lady, pardon me. She had an old milk truck with a big egg painted on the side with the lettering, eggs. Like we didn't know what that big egg was painted on the side for. An old Divco I'll never forget the name, Divco, an old Divco milk truck. It wasn't refrigerated. She had white eggs on one side and brown eggs on the other. And they were non-refrigerated. I remember she'd tell my mother, don't refrigerate those eggs. Put them on the counter. Oh, okay. But you'd go to the grocery store and the eggs would be in the cooler. Go figure. Man, I'm getting all kinds of strange sounds today. I don't know what's going on. I think I better sign off and figure out what's going haywire with all my electronics now. Sounds like a squeal. And it's showing up. It's probably coming through. It's probably coming through into my audio. Because it's on the screen. Damn it. More problems. With that, I'll chat with you tomorrow. Oh, jeez. I thought I got rid of that phishing software. Go away. I give up. The studio hates me. It's rebelling. And with that, I'll chat with you tomorrow. See you, bye.